What's up, guys? Today we are going to be talking about X-Men 97. Now, it's not going to be a lot to talk about because there's not very much to say about the show other than that it's freaking awesome, okay? Now, I have seen both episodes and I think they're great. They're fantastic, but there is something that has caught me off guard, and that is going to be Cyclops. I know I can't be the only one here, but if somebody were to tell me that, hey, Lucas, you're going to watch the show and you're gonna like Cyclops more than Wolverine, I would have told you you're crazy, bruh. Because Wolverine has always been the OG for me. He's always, the wisecracking, hey, you can't tell me what to do, bub, right? Always his old man, his character, the voice, especially of the classic cartoon series, it's always resonated with me. He's always been great. He's been a scene stealer in many cases. Anytime he's in the scene, it's like, yo, what is Wolverine gonna say? What is he gonna do? What outlandish things he's gonna do? Head first in the battle. And for me, Cyclops was always like that, the stick up his butt stiff type of person. Hey, don't do that because that's illegal. You shouldn't do that. Like this goody two-shoes. That's how he eventually came off in the show, from what I remember.
This kid's crying. Do something.
In this one, I don't know. Maybe it's me misremembering the original show, but this dude is a complete badass. He's got a family now, even though, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a little cliffhanger with that one thus far. His movements, how he's written and everything, it's now when he says, come to me, my X-Men, it's like, okay, I would be proud to be a part of the X-Men and be led by this dude. This dude's a freaking badass, and he holds his own. And there are two scenes that I think we need to address. There's two scenes that we got to talk about, and both of those scenes happen in the first episode. The second episode is great. It is great. But the first episode, I would say this is where it really establishes, okay, I see why he's the leader of the X-Men. And one of the first shots was this warehouse fight. And if you don't want to get spoiled, I suggest you skip all of this. Just skip the video entirely because I'm gonna spoil at least the first episode. But in this warehouse fight, and how he moves is actually ingenious. And I went to go scrub like the old 97 TV show of Cyclops, and I have yet to see him anywhere in that show move like this. He's always used, his laser beams, maybe put out fires to stop people, things like hit aircrafts, things like that. But I have yet to see him use it, to the best of my knowledge, as a mobility option, which was like, I wonder who came up with that, because that's absolutely genius. And that's what he's doing. So, he's using his optic beam and he pushes himself back. He grabs a person because he's saving this mutant, and he holds the person. He's like, hold on, pew, and he goes back, to get a better viewpoint, takes the guys out, uses the beam to go forward, right? So he's moving all over the place at like lightning speed due to his optic beam that he's, pushing himself, left and right. And I'm like, yo, whoever thought of that, that is freaking cool. It's just a cool element. It really shows ownership of his power. It really shows that, because most of the time what you're thinking about is optic beam. Okay, yeah, it can destroy stuff, right? It's usually like a one-trick pony for most cases. It destroys stuff. You don't see as far as really the broad view of how this character could use that. I think that was a really great sign of character development, and it's something that I think we can all include in our animations. If you ever come across a rig, and I know I have, where there's certain elements where it's like, this rig is boring. I can't do anything with this rig. I guarantee there was something, whether in the style of the rig, whether in certain attributes of the rig, that you can really hone in on and make that animation yours. Whatever you're trying to do with the rig, you can really take it to a whole nother level and really explore ideas. And that's why it's so important to storyboard and conceptualize the ideas before you get into Maya, before you get into Blender, before you touch any 3D program. It's really great to conceptualize and really go through all the possibilities, whether it's an action fight, an acting scene, a body mechanics. Well, should he slide under? Should he jump over? How should he slide under? Should he do it with one hand? Does he have superpowers? Like, what's his frame of mind? What's his frame of reference? Has he done this before? There's so many things you can do to flesh out your character. And I think Cyclops using his optic beam, you know, as a as mobility, right, to go from one side to the other. I think that's a great, I don't know, I really loved that. Cause I was like, oh, this is, you know, a unique way for him to use his power. Goes to show that he really has thought of it all. And his training, so he's good as his optic, but he goes in and does hand-to-hand combat, is knocking people out. So it was really good to see that he's just an overall well-rounded character.
We don't lose our cool when the good guys show up.
The second scene, I think you already know. Let me just say, this is the best superhero landing that I've ever seen. I don't care in what movie, I'm sorry. This is the best superhero landing to date. Iron Man is good, this is way better, bruh. This man in this scene, so they're in the X-plane, I believe it's called, the X-jet, the X-wing, or whatever it's called. They're in the aircraft, okay, for lack of better words. They're in the aircraft, and it gets shot down. And, you know, Jean and Rogue are saving people, Storm is saving people, and Cyclops is just falling to the ground. And I'm thinking he's falling to his death. Who's gonna save Cyclops, bro? What's going on here? And this man starts to, you know, go even faster, right? I'm like, does he have a parachute? What is he planning to do? And it wasn't until I saw him, you know, do the X pose, I'm like, no way, bruh. There's no way they're gonna have him do this. This is crazy. This man uses his optic blast, and I didn't know his optic blast was this powerful. I just didn't know, okay? I didn't know. He uses his optic blast and slows himself down to the ground. Bruh. I was like, this is too much, bro. I'm tapping out. That was a badass scene. He slows down, comes up, and is like, come to me, my X-Men. And they all come into this giant crater that he's created. Man, it's an amazing shot. It's the best, hands down, superhero landing that I have seen. The best. I don't care in any genre, any film, any movie, any cartoon, whatever you want to say. I'm very curious if you guys think there's a better superhero landing than that, because that was absolutely badass, bro. That was absolutely badass. I gotta give it to Cyclops. He's coming off as legitimate in this show. I know people out there are like, yo, he's always been legitimate, Lucas. He's always been that guy. He's been that guy. Maybe, you know, maybe I didn't know he was a hero, you know.
Was a hero. I just couldn't see it.
Maybe I was the Jamerson of Cyclops, but yeah, he's that guy in the show. And I think the show is awesome. I like the narrative is great. Animation is good. I highly suggest you check it out if you haven't already. And I'm definitely anticipating where this is going, because the story is good. The characters are great, you know, and the show is awesome thus far. So that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you know, have seen the show, if you like it, if you think, you know, there's certain things that could be better, certain things that you think have been, you know, improvised or improved upon. And, you know, just let me know. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, keep animating.